Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is January the 28th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm just suffering from the aftermath of allergies or if I'm getting sick, but it is what it is. Overall, I'm doing good because I had a really great day yesterday, which I wanted to talk about, chop up a little bit. Um, let's start off with a little bit of game review. I got to play Tekken 8 and it was amazing. It is amazing. I got to go hang out with my friend. And they own a PS5 and have it, and they're like, yo, we've been gaming, we do this shit, you got to come through and play. So that's what we did for like a good chunk of the day. It was very fun. Big fan, really enjoy it. If you're into fighting games, you're into the Tekken series, it does not disappoint. Highly recommend. Let's see here. Then we got some food. So food corner part one was I went to a sandwich shop called Morsel and Nosh, and they also sell a bunch of other like convenience like type stuff as well. It's actually a really cool little shop, deli space. But they had a sandwich I got was the John Adams, and then I'm so glad my friend got the soup of the day and I checked it out because I can finally say that I've tried oxtail now. I'm very excited about that. It's very yummy, by the way. Did not disappoint as well. But I got this oxtail and barley soup, which I thought was a pretty like interesting combination. I would not have expected that, but I mean, at this point, people are putting oxtail in anything and everything, and I'm sure it is great. So I'm glad that's confirmed for me at least. Let's see here. Then I went to like this music show. It was really cool. It was very like fun, like I almost want to say like experimental music, but like it was just different, and I really liked it. It was nice like hearing saxophone and like fun different ways and percussion and synth stuff. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in. It was real fun though. I love that. And food corner part two, we were all pretty yammed up a bit. So we were still hungry, and we got this late night urge to go to Skyline. And that is a Skyline chili, Cincinnati flavor. It might be a controversial chili to some. I get that. That's fair. That's fine. But I gotta say, last night it hit. It hit. And this is cool for me too because like the Skyline that's near me closes very early. So the Skyline that we got to go to is open late, and that was just such like a different experience for me. I was so happy. But yeah, I got a 5-way, which is like chili, spaghetti, and then I got 3 cheese conies with everything on them. So cheese, chili, with the beans and the onions. So yeah, I was happy, happy, happy. It was a good day. All right, let's see. Was there anything else I really wanted to cover from my weekend? No. Like I said, bear with me, with the voice and the if you're hearing that. Sorry about it. But let me do my startup. Let me make it worse. All right. Let's get into some news. From Al Jazeera, Palestinians condemn suspension of UNRWA funding by Western nations. Top Palestinian officials and Hamas have criticized the decision by nearly a dozen Western countries to suspend funding to the United Nations Relief Agency for Palestinians and called for an immediate reversal of the move, which entails great risk. The UN Relief and Work Agency for Palestinian Refugees in the Near East, or UNRWA, earlier said it had opened an investigation after Israel alleged some of its employees were involved in the October 7th attacks that triggered the current conflict. This prompted at least 10 Western countries to withdraw or temporarily pause funding to the agency, a move the head of UNRWA called shocking, which I would agree. Because at the end of the day, these are all allegations launched by Israel, and that's fine and true. I'm not saying that they are false or whatever, but they're not even fully verified yet. And not to mention that UNRWA is making moves to fire and, do a thorough investigation on the situation. Another thing I think that's really important to mention here that I feel like gets diluted by the Western countries that are just like, oh yeah, we can't stand by this, we can't abide by this, we have to stop funding this because they're terrorists in the ranks. There are 13,000 UNRWA staff. We are talking about maybe 12 or so suspected people who are linked to the October 7th attack. So it's just not balanced. It's not weighted. And this is an ongoing campaign by Israel to just be as anti-UN as possible. This is not a new tactic. It is essentially you guys are aiding and helping Palestinians, aka now, in our mind, you're helping the enemy. And, of course they use the excuse of, oh, it boils down to Hamas and that's really all it is. But at the end of the day, they take that and just run with it and more or less try to deem the UN as even anti-Semitic. It's wild to me. And it's wild to me. I don't even want to say it's wild to me that the Western countries are showing their true colors here because it's just what they do. This is not new. The United States, Australia, Canada, Italy, Germany, Finland, and the Netherlands, Sweden, and the United Kingdom and Scotland have halted funding to the agency, whose facilities were displaced, where displaced Palestinians sought shelter, have been repeatedly attacked in Israeli air raids. There was, let's see if I can find it. Ireland and Norway, however, expressed continued support for UNRWA, saying the agency does crucial work to help Palestinians displaced in desperate need of assistance in Gaza. So, my hope is that, this is a temporary suspension for most, or if all of the countries that withdrew support. And, we can at least get back to that. I know in other kind of related news to this, they're talking more about another negotiation wave about releasing some hostages. We'll see. Maybe that's something I'll keep you posted on in the week to come. Who knows? But yeah, to me, this is very unfortunate, and definitely want to just talk about it. Let's see here from the next articles from Associated Press. 3 men were found dead in a friend's backyard after watching a Chiefs game. Here's what we know. It's been 3 weeks since 3 Kansas City fans joined friends to watch the Chiefs game, or the Chiefs play the Los Angeles Chargers in the final game of the regular season. Their bodies were found in a friend's backyard 2 days later. Police still haven't said how the men died, but affirmed Saturday, amid intense public speculation, that they have no evidence of foul play. Let's see here. Police say that Ricky Johnson, 38, Clayton McGreeny, 36, and David Harrington, 37, went to the home of a friend in Kansas City, Missouri, to watch the Chiefs game on January 7th. None of them made it home. 2 nights later, McGreeny's fiance went to the home looking for him. She winds up having to, I believe, break into the basement, and she finds her fiance, and then she calls the police, and then they find 2 more men in the backyard. I wish I had the name of the guy. I'm sure it's here in this article, but I kind of lost it. I switched it up. John Picarino is his lawyer. I think it's Jordan something. I know it's bad podcasting. I'm sorry. But essentially the homeowner, the friend of the victims, essentially was saying hey, they left my house and I didn't hear from them since. I thought everything was fine, but, it's weird because he didn't answer text messages. People were calling, saying looking for him. His friends' cars were on the street still. So it's just odd. It feels like things don't add up, but police are insisting that it wasn't foul play. Let's see. Investigators say they don't know, but they have not said publicly whether they believe drugs or alcohol were involved in what might have been 3 relatively sudden and simultaneous deaths, though it's clear that that's a possibility they're considering. Weather records indicate that low temperature that night was around 33 degrees or 1 degree Celsius. Um, t- 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 let's see what else I wanted to pull here. I know I really wish I found that name, and that's my bad, y'all. Like I said, I kind of almost think that like maybe as this went on, they kind of withdrew the name on there, but I know I had found it in a previous article and lost it. But let's not dwell on it. Like I said, I mean, I would definitely keep you posted if I hear any more from this story. I know that they're going to do a toxicology autopsy, report. That's probably going to take like a few weeks to get processed. I'm curious if they are doing an investigation, kind of maybe even like behind the scenes or whatever, and maybe then it might lead to an arrest of the, the person who was renting the home, the friend of the victims. Yeah, it's weird. They don't say it in this article. I guess AP's protecting their butt there. Anyway, let me not get jammed up on that. Let's move on to the next beat from The Independent. An online pastor is accused of running a $3 million crypto scam. He claims God helped him. Man, don't they always fucking do this shit? A Colorado pastor accused of running a $3 million cryptocurrency scam with his wife has claimed that the Lord advised him to carry out the venture. Elgio, whatever. Elijah or Eli. We're gonna go with Eli. We're gonna call him Eli Regalado. Man, I'm really living there. And his wife Caitlin Regalado have been charged with civil fraud offenses by the Colorado Division of Securities after their cryptocurrency index coin raked in about $3.2 million from more than 300 people, according to a press release by the Colorado Department of Regulatory Agencies. The complaint alleges the couple created and marketed and sold a cryptocurrency to members of the Christian community. Mr. Regalado, who preaches for the online-only Victorious Grace Church, targeted believers, telling them that God had told him investors would end up wealthy if they put money into index coin, the complaint alleges. The couple also allegedly filled presentations with prayers and quotes from the Bible, telling investors that investment would lead to abundance and blessings. They also allegedly offered cryptocurrency through an online exchange program called Kingdom Wealth Exchange, or KWE, which they created and controlled themselves. The Colorado Division of Securities alleges that the couple had no prior experience in dealing with cryptocurrency, and a third-party auditor's report found that index coin code to be unsafe, unsecure, and riddled with serious technical problems. However, despite the cryptocurrency being illiquid and practically worthless, the Regalados are accused of continuing to promote it as a low-risk, high-profit investment. And I feel like even if they didn't do this, they probably could have kept spinning it and just keep doing the religious thing, and just people would still want to believe. It seems like he even still wants to kind of keep up the grift in a way. Let me see if I can find where he's talking some more. Either I misheard God, or God is still not done with this project, and he is going to do a new thing. He said in a video reported by CNN. What we're praying for and what we're believing for still is that God is going to do a miracle. God is going to work a miracle in the financial sector, and that everyone who invested is going to be able to receive money back. Which, you always hate that shit because this is sunken cost. You know what I mean? Like, money back, brother. We were supposed to get this money to make money. Like, we were supposed to give you this money and then make money. But I don't know. This isn't me trying to like blame the victim or anything, but you gotta be careful. At the end of the day, I think tithing to your church, doing your thing, that's one thing. Amen, cool beans. That's your, religious duty that you want to follow. I'm not knocking it. But what we're talking about here is your pastor becoming like some kind of hedge fund manager for you. Like, that's never a good idea. Like, he should not be quitting his day job. And, you just gotta be careful. Buyer beware. That's what we say. But yeah, I mean, obviously I think this guy's really fucking scummy. My thoughts go out to the people who, have lost money in this, thinking that God was moving here, but, obviously not. I don't think so. But, I love a good grift. I love a good scam. You know what I mean? I say good, but I mean, like, getting this much money. Also, the things that they spent it on, too, which he, like, tried to come out with, and he's like, oh, yeah, out of that 1.3 million, $500,000 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went into a home remodel that the Lord told us to do. Of course, he said in a video on Friday, posted, or according to the Associated Press. So yeah, and then also that last quote I had read about God working a miracle, I think he had posted that to like private members only. So that was just something that the Independent couldn't verify on their own. But that kind of makes sense. You tend to want to try to close ranks in these situations, reach out to the people who are maybe concerned and try to say, hey, no, you're fine. Don't worry. God's going to move. Everything's going to be okay. Don't call any, law enforcement or anything like that. Please just, don't file any lawsuits or anything. Relax. It's all good. Pray with us. Pray with me, please. Hey, all right. We have one more thing to cover before I let you go. I'm going to go make some tea after this. I think I need it. But you know what that means. I'm going to take a break and then we will get into it. Also, a bit of a weather report on the side here while I drink some water. It's been so wet and soggy. Ugh, it rained all night. It rained while I was getting groceries today. Blech, hate it. Rain's nice for a day or so. When you're in the house, nothing to do, nowhere to go. But when you gotta operate in that shit, it's the worst. Hate it. All right, let's finish this thing. From the BBC News. Thai police to charge 2 over pet lion spotted cruising in Bentley. It just sounds like a fucking cool Disney movie. Police in Thailand have arrested a woman whose pet lion was pictured going on a joyride in the streets of Pattaya. A video has now gone viral. Shows the chain lion cub seated in the back of a white open-top Bentley. The lion was being driven about by a Sri Lankan man who has since left the country and is believed to be a friend of the woman, Sawanjit Kosunajan. While it's not illegal to own a lion in Thailand, it needs to be officially registered. And this is where the problem lies. Authorities in Thailand said Miss Sawanjit claimed to have bought the animal from a Thai man in Nakhon Pathom province, whom successfully facilitated its delivery to Pattaya. However, he failed to have his facility checked by officials before doing so, which made both the transfer and ownership of the animal illegal. She is therefore facing charges of possessing a controlled wild animal without permission, which carries a penalty of a year's imprisonment and a fine of up to 100,000 baht, or $2,800, or 2,200 pounds. They are looking for the man who had kept the lion in his rented pool villa, but he is no longer in Thailand. So, he got out while the getting was good. And then the officials say there are currently 224 lions in Thailand that are legally owned. So, a little fun fact there at the end. I don't know. I just remember last year we covered a bull in a car. I believe, I can't remember what state that was. I want to say Texas, but maybe that's just me trying to be a little dork. I don't know. But yeah, I like animals and cars. What can I say? That gets my attention. But that's the episode. That's all I have. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.